If you're hoping to make a ton of cash from Amazon KDP, you're definitely watching the wrong video. If you're new here, hi, my name's Christina, and I recently released my first book in June of this year. My ultimate goal for this video is to be extremely transparent with you in terms of how much I made my first month self-publishing on Amazon KDP, what marketing strategies I used. After watching this video, I hope that you can have a realistic expectation of what you might be able to make as a first-time indie author on Amazon KDP. So I priced the ebook of my book at $4.99 USD and the paperback at $9.99 USD. Before we get into the numbers, let's talk about the marketing, because your results for self-publishing a book are going to vary really widely depending on how much you market, how much you tell people about your book, whether you use free marketing, whether you use paid marketing. So for me specifically, I didn't use any paid marketing. And you could say that technically I started marketing my book before it was even published. 2 years ago, I started my online writer presence when I decided to try NaNoWriMo for the first time. And in my NaNoWriMo vlogs, I said that I'm continuously working on a novel that I'm wanting to publish. And again, this was only done through YouTube videos, the occasional Instagram post, and of course telling my friends and family that, hey, I'm writing a book. I started this before I was even confident that I would publish the book. I highly recommend marketing your book before you even hit that publish button on Amazon KDP, and I have a whole video of my very chill marketing strategies that I used. I've only used organic marketing so far, and once the book was out, I asked my friend if she wanted to meet up with me and have a very fun photo shoot of me holding the book that I could use in Instagram later, and sometimes I've marketed my book on LinkedIn. I also had a book launch party, but these were with friends that already knew about the book. It was a very small gathering of about 12 people, and I really just wanted to have a cake that had my book cover on it. So let's talk about the copies sold during my first month on Amazon KDP. In total, for my first book, I sold 29 books in June 2024. Of those 29 books, I sold 6 ebooks and 23 paperbacks. And then Amazon also lets you see what countries that you sold your books in. So this one's a fun one. I'm just gonna read it off my paper here. So out of those 29 books, I sold 20 copies to Canada, 8 in the States, and 1 in Germany. I definitely know who the one in Germany is from. I'm from Canada, so the majority of my sales coming from Canada does not surprise me. But also I do have not a lot, but I do have people that follow me from the States, and I've lived in the States before. So I'm really not surprised with that breakdown for June. Okay, so let's talk about the pay. It gets a little confusing the way Amazon breaks this down, as you make a specific amount of royalties from ebooks and a specific amount of royalties from paperbacks. And it kind of looks like depending on the country, there might be a royalty. We'll get into that later, but I'm gonna let you know how much I made from ebooks, paperbacks, and what my take-home pay was for June. And then I'll be talking about what I've learned and what next steps are for me in my author career. So I have to find this paper. I summarized everything on paper because it was a little confusing to figure out these royalties. So I'm just going to read from it. I sold 29 paperbacks total at a 60% royalty. And so out of paperbacks, I made $64.56. And for ebooks, I sold 6 ebooks total, 70% royalty on the ebooks. But there was one random ebook that was 35% royalty. I'm not sure why. My guess is maybe it was the order from Germany, but I really couldn't tell you. But total for ebooks, I made $19.12. So the grand total of how much I made in my first month being on Amazon KDP as a self-published author was $83.62 in June. And that's not a lot of money, but I am honestly so ecstatic that I sold 29 copies in June of my first book. I'm so glad that I started talking about it before it was even written. It gave me the confidence to just start outlining the second book, which is hopefully happening in September. I'm just really proud. So I don't expect this to be my full-time income. It'd be awesome if it was, but it's pretty cool that you're able to create something and just put it online and make some money from it. My takeaways though. Okay. Lessons learned. I do recognize that marketing really plays a huge impact, because leading up to June, I was really set on my pre-order campaign. I was talking about my book a lot more online. And even throughout June, I was talking about my book more because I was taking more photo shoots. I was having more fun. And when I look at my numbers for July and August, which we can talk about those in a later number, they're not even close to this. They are a lot lower. So this doesn't mean that because I made 80, what, I keep converting it. What was it? 83? Because I made $83 in my first month, that does not guarantee that in July and August and September, I'm also going to make $83. It just doesn't work that way. It does seem like the more I post about the book, the more sales I make, which makes sense. As for ongoing marketing, I really think that the second book will be my best marketing tool, and I really need to focus on outlining that. But I plan to continue trying to make weekly YouTube videos, and in the YouTube videos I make, I will casually mention my book. Like this video, for example, that's my book. I'm talking about the book that I made sales on. And when I have more energy and when I have more space outside of my 9 to 5, I hope to get a little bit more short form content in. And I think instead of marketing the plot of my book as a whole, I'm going to take a seasonal marketing approach. So as fall is coming up, and fall is such a nostalgic holiday for us all, I think I'll just be marketing my book as a fun read for this fall when you're nice and cozy and it's sweater weather, that kind of thing. And then when it's the winter, I'll market it as a book to read in the winter. When it's the spring, you can read it on spring vacation. My tagline that I've created is that I write fast-paced books for you to read on your next vacation. So spring and summer, I'm really going to capitalize on that. I'm not going to capitalize so much on the plot. Capitalize, I think, is the wrong word. I'm not going to focus so much of the plot on the book when I market, because marketing is more about vibes. Like, why do you want to pick this book up? It's fun, it's fast, it has a questionable main character. And I've been thinking a lot about comp titles lately, and I would say this book is like The Bold Type meets Devil Wears Prada, but with magic, and also meets 9 Perfect Strangers, because there's a bit of, I heard this third part has cut out so many times. So what I've been trying to say is that I think if I start using comp titles as a marketing framework, it will help. And I'm also trying to have realistic expectations that this is obviously my hobby. It is not my full-time income. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still working on your manuscript, be sure to check out this video that will teach you how you can get cracking on your draft and finally finish it. Or if you want to know the behind the scenes of how much it actually costs to publish my first book, check out this video here. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.